The B, the A, the C, the K, the S, the P, the I, the N, TV.
Cool. Like, yeah, my first question is like, people know you, or people in hip hop know you from Barbershop, Soul Food, Man of Honor. What made you decide to do this movie documentary about Biggie Smalls?
I think more importantly, I love his music. I love what he represented to hip hop. I was more so interested in the idea of doing something that people really didn't know about his personal life. You know what I mean? He had a lot of complexities as an individual. You know, he had 2 women in his life. He was a husband. He was a son. He was trying to be a good father. How he was put on Junior Mafia. I think all those things were interesting to me as a director. It's like, wow, I don't think people really know why he did all those things or what was driving him to do all those things. And I think getting behind the genesis of who he really was excited me to do this film.
How complex? Well, I guess the research was pretty complex, like to get all the facts together and all his friends. How much time did it take, or how complex was it?
It was very complex because you had, each person in his life, he had a different relationship, and also at the same time, you got the musical stuff too, the concerts, the music, his relationship with Puffy was very interesting, how to capture that. So it took a lot of time to really gather all this information, and then it took a lot of time how musically to do all these things, and then trying to find the right locations. You know what I mean? I think all those things really made it a very difficult project overall, because the toughest thing is that it was only 1997, 10 years ago, and a lot of people still knew, so you couldn't really make a mistake, because people would be like, nah, that didn't really happen, so all that made it really tough.
The cast for his role, I guess that was pretty hard.
Yeah.
Like there was over 300 people.
Yeah, it's a lot of people, man. It was tough because I wanted to find somebody out in Hollywood because hopefully I could find a really strong actor who can help me get through the process. But that didn't really work out. There wasn't nobody in Hollywood that we could find. And then open calls across the country. You had every big guy sending in tapes trying to audition and trying to rap. That didn't work, and then we just happened to find this guy who lived in the same neighborhood as Big, and I think that was important. It really helped capture the Brooklyn swagger. Although also Jamal did some rapping, it helped that he could be able to get Biggie's flow down. He never acted before, but he really worked hard to get where he needed to be.
Was he like the closer? Was there another person? Because I thought first, I don't know if Gorilla Black, who really got the voice, even got the tone of rapping.
Yeah.
Like I thought, okay, Mike gonna pick him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was surprised when you picked Gravy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Gorilla Black, we saw him out in L.A. Really nice guy, by the way. I met him, and he auditioned for the role, and he tried his hardest. He was a great guy. It's just something was missing. I don't know if it was the West Coast, the New York, East Coast swagger. I wasn't familiar with Gravy when I met him. I wasn't familiar with his work at all. And then when he came in as an actor more than an artist for me. Great, Gorilla Black sounded like him, but he really didn't capture the guy behind the music. And then when Miss Wallace saw Gravy, Jamal, she was like, that's my son. That's the guy who got the charm and personality, and everybody around him felt the same way.
How about how do you feel about? I know there's a lot of stuff going on that Lil' Kim kind of are disappointed by the movie, about her, the person that plays her role and stuff like that. How do you feel about that?
Well, my whole thing, I think the main concern is she wasn't really happy with the person playing her. You know what I mean? And I was like, okay, well, that's kind of odd. So I think it started from there. But I really felt like, the script was based off interviews that the writers did with her. And I felt like Notori Norton did a great job.
I think so too, actually.
I mean, she caught the sensuality, sexuality, the fire, the rapping. She got it all. And each scene is different, so it shows different things. And the most important is the Biggie. This movie's about Biggie, and the other characters support him. So I'm really happy with that performance. More importantly, after Jamal, that's one of my second favorite performances in this film.
Now, is it true Biggie's son plays the young Biggie Smalls? That he went to audition and you guys wasn't knowing that it was his son?
Nah, when I first saw the first thing, I did not know, man. And he's very talented, man. He was in the moment, and he was natural. And it was good to work with him because, you know, you're looking right at him. He's like a light-skinned version of his dad. So all that personality and all that funness, it felt like I just got it right from looking at him, and it felt like his dad was there. So it was great to work with him.
How much was Puffy actually involved in this movie, or like behind the scenes, or how much was he involved in this whole thing?
Well, I saw him 3 times, really, my whole process out of the 8-9 months I was on the movie. And saw him 3 times. The first time in the beginning, he asked me, what story are you trying to tell? Just like he asked Biggie in the movie, what story are you trying to tell? And I told him what kind of story I wanted to make about a man, boy becoming a man, and the relationship between the mother and son. He was great with that. And then he came to the set a couple times, and he was very happy with what he was seeing. And I didn't see him that much till at the end of the movies, at the premiere. So he was very happy with what he's seen, and a lot of people said he's going to be all over the movie watching you. And wasn't like that.
Breathing into your neck. Like as a businessman, as I know him, and when I did interviews with him or stuff like that, you always think of, like, oh man, he's going to be like, nah, this guy, this, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I think he was good with me on this movie. I didn't have any problems at all. I think maybe because he felt like I knew what I was doing, I knew what the story I was trying to tell, and this was Ms. Waller's project, and I think he respected that.
I'll be honest, like I had really mixed feelings when I heard there's gonna be a movie about the I said, oh man, it's gonna be a B, it's not gonna be hot, you know, this and that. But when I saw it, I was like, oh man, it's a good movie, you know. I didn't expect it that much. You know? Did you have like doubts, or did you expect the success that it got? I mean, when it came out, it was like on number 2. In the movie chart.
I felt like I always knew, man. I always knew in my heart. I didn't know what the success was going to be. I knew in my heart I was going to make a great movie, a good movie, a very good movie, because I wasn't happy with a lot of the hip-hop films that came out before. I just wasn't happy with them. They just feel like, it's just for that audience. I wanted to make a movie for everybody, you know what I mean, that's very universal, that got stories you can emotional, cry, laugh, watch some action in it, you know what I mean? And I felt like that's what I wanted to do, and I feel like there hasn't been a movie that really... I liked 8 Mile, you know, I like what they did with that film, but the rest of them I just didn't want to feel like I wanted to really look at them, and I felt like in my heart we need to raise the bar so other hip-hop films, other movies that deal with hip-hop can come after us, and I feel like that's what we wanted to do.
Last question, would you do like the same thing with Tupac?
Oh, I think it should be a Tupac movie. It has to be. It's going to be complicated. Tupac was a very complicated individual. And I think Biggie was more of a mystery. A lot of people didn't really... Tupac was in movies and did music. But I think he obviously deserved a movie, and I think that should be the next one.
Well, thank you for taking time.
Man. I appreciate it, man.